Hey, y'all. Part 2 of the double feature. So with timing, right, it's crazy because it's never going to be an absolute thing. Because every hitter kind of has a feel for when they have to start to be on time, hopefully. And if they don't, then our job is to help them to figure out how to be on time as best we can. And that's where your creativity as a coach comes into play. And you having more ways in which you're going to be able to help different players that have different abilities and different skill levels to be on time for different types of pitching. Because just because we crushed somebody that was throwing 46 miles an hour doesn't mean we're going to crush somebody that was throwing 54 miles an hour, because there's a big difference in how fast they're throwing. And then the people that are kind of are lesser skilled are going to struggle in different ways to find their timing. But I think the ability to make the adaptations and ability to make the timing changes comes in handy. So if I were coaching a 10U, a 12U, a 14U, or even a high school varsity team or whatever, I want, if I could get here's the key, right? People have a tendency to want to focus on their best players all the time. But what if you spent more time with the 9 batters, the 8 batters, and the 7 batters, and you got those players 20% better? Think of how different your lineup would be. Think of how different your offensive numbers would be in terms of putting the ball in play, getting kids on base, and turning that lineup over again if the 9 and the 8 and the 7 batters and the people that are the first and second hitters off the bench are getting better and improving their timing. Because then it wouldn't matter what the pitching was like. It wouldn't matter how fast or slow a pitcher was throwing. Because we've taught our players how to have adjustability and how to have different approaches for different types of pitchers. So for example, we talk about timing. If I have an umpire with a higher strike zone and my players are struggling, I might want to have less forward bend because of the high strike zone. And I might want to be more here on the forward bend in terms of angles, right? Because it's going to help me to be able to get on top of the higher pitch. Or I might want to bring my hands up a little bit higher with the umpire with a higher strike zone to be able to get on top of the higher pitch. So those are like little adjustments we can make, but we can also practice those things. So we'll have high hands batting practice today. Today we're having batting practice. Everything's high hands. Because I may ask you to do it one day, and when I ask you to do it in a game one day, it won't be the first time I ever ask you to do it, because we've done it before. We've practiced it, because sometimes we may have to do that to win a game because we got a girl with a good rise ball and we got an umpire with a high zone. Oh, we're in trouble. She matches up with this umpire. And if we don't know how to make those adjustments, we can never be on time for that hitter. So we have to be able to have all these different ways that we can coach, because we need our hitters to be able to make the team that wins is the team that adjusts first offensively. If your team adjusts first, your team is going to win offensively. If you take too much time to adjust, it's the 4th inning. You know what happens in the 4th inning? All right, 15 seconds left, last batter. Especially if you're playing in time tournaments. You got 15 seconds left. You don't got no more innings to come back. You got to get it done. So the earlier and the quicker that we can make these adjustments, the better we are. And it comes down to timing, and we got to time up these pitchers. So that's one way to look at it. So now, the title of our presentation today is Rhythmical Execution, Visual Acuity, and Controlling the Space. All those things are pertinent. All those things are important. All those things are actually, oh, you said my clicker works now? Let's see if this thing really works. Ha ha! Let's go. I like this. This is cool. I like it. So rhythm is important. Rhythm is really important. So rhythm is important because most kids don't have rhythm. You check these TikToks. You see the kids who are dancing all off beat. They look like they're dancing to the words. They're the ones that don't have rhythm. Okay? So we have to establish rhythm, though. We can all establish it. So I like to get my hitters to establish their rhythm in the setup. And we call it dance in your stance. And this is what we do. And everybody's going to establish a different rhythm. I'll put this in my pocket. Everybody's going to establish a different rhythm. So here's my rhythm in the batter's box. Here's mine. This is my personal rhythm. And we call that a dynamic setup. A dynamic setup is when I'm moving, and a static setup is this. Here's static. You already know. You see this kid? You already know this kid right here. Okay, I don't have to say any words. So we can teach that kid that has a static setup, we can teach her to have a little bit of rhythm. Hey, think about your favorite song and dance to it. Different people are going to be different. Some people may have a faster rhythm. And then when the picture goes into a circle, then they lock in with the picture, right? But here's something that's always worked for me. And I personally kind of gotten away from it, and I need to get back to it. If I'm righty, I'm making a counterclockwise circle with my hands. And if I'm lefty, I'm making a clockwise circle with my hands. Oh, you're young, so clockwise means when the clock goes this way, that's clockwise. You guys got that? You almost, so that's clockwise. If the clock's going the other way, that's counterclockwise. You guys got it? Okay. So if I'm lefty, I'm counterclockwise. I'm clockwise, lefty. Here's my circle. Because that takes my hands in the direction that they're going to go in. See that? It takes them in that direction. The clockwise circle here, small circles. Bang. And you'll still see a lot of hitters do that when you watch like ESPN, you watch those hitters with the really fast hands. They use those hands as a timing mechanism to lock in with the pitcher's delivery, right? So that's important. So the rhythmical execution of timing is me locking my body in with the pitcher's body in rhythm. So there's 3 times. I want to talk about the 3 timings. That's what we're doing. I keep 3 timings. So I got rhythm, my body with her body, and that's just me getting my foot down on time. On time, then my swing happens next. It's separated. On time, swing happens next, but it's close. So watch this. Heel strike and turn. Down, turn. I don't want to get caught up into this. Heel strike, stop, and turn. We don't want to teach that. I want to teach it as one move. It's one move with 2 separate parts, not 2 separate moves. Does that make sense? So if it's two moves, we got a problem. 1 move, 2 moves. That's not how it works. Okay, it works like this. It works heel strike, turn. It looks like it's happening at the same time, but it's not. There's an internal pause that happens from heel strike to turn because my take and my swing should not live in my foot. Most hitters, their swing lives in their front foot landing. So front foot land, swing same time. Front foot land, swing same time. That's really bad timing. So if you identify that in your kids, look for it. Are we landing at the same, is ours yes living in our front foot, living in our heel strike? Is my yes living in my heel strike? Hopefully it's not. If the yes is living in your heel strike, you're gonna have a big problem with changeups. Huge problem with changeups. Huge problem with hitters, pitchers that are able to change speeds significantly. When you get to the next level, a lot of pitchers are really good at changing speeds. And it's really difficult if you can't separate it. Hitting becomes a whole nother problem. It's not even mechanical. It starts with that timing. So the next thing I want to talk, this is going to be the one more thing I want to show you guys. This is a false load. Look for this in your hitters. If your hitters are creating this, and they're calling this a load, it's not. Then I want you to, we're not going backwards anymore. Those days have to be over. This does not give us more power. It gives us a false sense of power. Because that's not how power works. Power does not work in a linear ground force production or ground force reaction does not work in a linear fashion in this part of the swing. It's not a linear move this way. It's not going to be a linear move. Because then I can't turn my hips, I can't turn my chest, I can't hit a ball in the air, right? So if you watch, my opinion, top 5 hitters in college football, top 5 hitting teams in college football in terms of like swing efficiency are going to be Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, UCLA, LSU, Florida. Those are my favorite top 5 teams, and sometimes Tennessee depends on, maybe sometimes Tennessee. But you're never going to see this. And any MLB team, you're never going to see this. We're not going back to go forward. That's 2001, 2003. I don't know. Back then, we did that. Now what we're going to see is this. We're sitting into the rear heel. We're sitting into the rear heel, so it's this. It's sitting into the rear heel. It's sitting into the rear heel. So me sitting into the rear heel, me landing with the front heel, and my counter rotation, my trigger or my load with the upper body, are all happening at the same time. It's simultaneous. It's not happening in three different segments. Because 65 is the new 60. In case you guys haven't heard, 65 is the new 60. Used to be back in the day, 60 was like, whoa. You go to a showcase, if one player hits 61, who hit 61? It was her. Now it's 65. They're lifting weights. They're stronger. They're more athletic. That's pitchers, and it's just throwing it harder. The game has evolved. So as hitters, we have to evolve too. We got to be able to be on time for 65. I don't know how far we are from 70 being the new 65, but it ain't far away because we're getting smarter, we're getting better with how we teach, we're learning more about the human body, and the information is trickling down, and we're getting the information. Travel ball coaches are getting the information. High school coaches are getting the information. Whereas before, we didn't really have those channels getting information that quickly. So now this is what it is. But I don't want my hitters to be late because we're behind the times. Okay, so we got to make sure that we got that sequence going of sitting into the rear heel at the same time as heel strike, at the same time as my counter rotation with the upper body, so we got this. Now, as we do that, and I told the last group, as we do that, I want to be able to make sure that we have, that the hitter, if they can't feel it, we give them a visual. So if I got nose, belly button, ball, and if my belly button goes behind the ball, I know that I loaded backwards and went in the wrong direction. This is about direction. So the question that I should be asking is, I think that's up there. I think direction's up there, right? Yeah, it's up there. The question I should be asking is, what direction am I going in? What direction are we going in? Am I going in that direction? I'm already lost. I've already lost the game. But if I'm going in this direction, I'm not really going in the direction. What I'm doing is I'm storing kinetic energy. I'm creating kinetic energy. So I'm going to give you guys a quick, just because I'm a swing nerd, I'm a science nerd, I'm a physics nerd. Sir Isaac Newton had this theory. He had a couple of theories, right? Isaac Newton. One of them is the theory of energy conservation. And the theory of energy conservation says this. It says, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. Most of our hitters think that they're creating energy. I'm going to create energy. Like, that's what they really think. But according to that theory and according to how quantum science works and quantum mechanics works, we're not creating anything. We're transferring it. So when we see our kids move, whether they're running, they're throwing, they're hitting, or they're pitching, we're looking at who can move energy the best, who can move energy with the most efficiency. And the kids who are doing this, when you look at what direction they're going in, that's not efficient. Work done divided by energy used is the formula for efficiency. Too much work. Too much energy being used. We want this. Here. Now when I start to go this way, I'm going in the right direction. If I go this way, how do I go in that direction with efficiency? I can't. I got to get back to here now, and now I'm the 8-batter. That's an 8-batter approach. You're an 8-batter with that approach. You're going to bat 8th on every team you play on, if that's your approach. Hopefully you play good defense and you'll be in the lineup. But you will not hit with that approach. Okay, did I lose my screen? Okay, eyeballs. Once my front foot gets down, once my front foot lands, right, and I'm down, then it becomes eyeballs. It becomes eyeballs. So if the front foot gets down, it becomes my, thank you, the front foot becomes my, my tripod. So if we look at the head as a camera system, the head's a camera, the eyeballs are a lens, If my camera's moving, that's gonna be what my shot looks like. If my head is moving, that's gonna be what my visual acuity looks like. That's gonna be my perception of the ball coming in, if the camera's moving. So if I can get my front foot down, rooted and anchored into the dirt, that becomes my stabilizer. So I now know my pelvis, my spine, my head, and my eyes are stable, and I can see the ball better. I can see the ball better. Most kids struggle with this. They want to get here, then they want to come up. They want to get here, then they want to come up. We got to encourage them to be able to keep their, we got to encourage them to be able to keep their head in one position with their head, one position, not moving it around. So if you freeze frame every Division I All-American in the country, and you watch them after heel strike happens, bang, draw a circle around their head, and then click their swing forward, inch by inch by inch, the head never moves. The head never moves. There will be 0 degrees of head movement on every All-American because they're going to be really good at maintaining forward bend and keeping forward bend throughout the swing, and the head literally moves 0 degrees. Got it? So now, that's the eyeball part. That's the eyeballs part. We want to stabilize the eyeballs, keep the head from moving. We do that by keeping the spine stable. We do that by stabilizing the pelvis, and we do that by stabilizing the front foot and the front leg. And when we stabilize that front leg, we are good. Thank you. We are good. That's the key. That's visual mechanics. That's understanding visual mechanics. Minimizing head movement. Minimizing head movement and maintaining stability of the spine. So, once I can see, once my eyes are working for me, and I can actually see, now I don't have as much visual information. Because the visual information is what gives me the wrong bat angle a lot of times. And what I thought I saw was this, so now I get this. That's not good. What I thought I saw was this, but then I did this. That's not good. But these things happen. Bad angles happen because of visual misinformation. So the first thing I want to be able to make sure we understand is that we have to take a look at all the visual stuff to make sure that's not what's going to be affecting the player's swings. So I got 2 eye setups. Watch my setup. 2 eyes, pitcher. Here's the 1 eye setup. Go watch your players. Go back home and watch the players this week or watch videos. A lot of them are here, 1.5 eyes. What if they turn their head? 2 eyes. Oh my gosh. She's 2 eyes, right? So here's 1.5 eyes. Here's 2 eyes. Okay? Here's what they do because of bad tee work. Hitting upside down. Right? A lot of them. So if we can get them to understand, I just want you to understand how visual this is and how much eyeballs play a part in tracking, pitch recognition, decision making, and miss hits. I'm missing above it, I'm missing underneath it, I'm missing around it, I'm slicing it, cutting it off, I'm missing early, and I'm missing late. Those are the 5 ways people miss. I call it the 5 hitting demons. Like those are the 5 ways you can miss a ball, right? So every pitch that we hit has a depth. How deep did I hit it? Watch your kids when they're set up on the tee too. Then you're gonna get an understanding of where they think the ball should be hit. Hey, just get up to the plate. Just stand up on the tee. Okay, is that what you want to set up? So you think a ball gets hit back here? Most of them do. You can just watch by what they show you. So I want to make sure that when we're doing tee work, if we're doing tee work, that's a whole other story, but if we're doing it, let's make sure that we're going to hit it out front. Because being able to control that space is what makes you good. We don't want to be in that space. That's too deep. That's bad contact depth. That's not going to give you the hard hit ball. We don't want to be in that contact space because now I'm pushing. That's not going to give you a hard hit ball. So there's a space where contact happens where it's really, really close to the front foot, and then it's a little bit in front of it. And that's where the hardest hit balls get hit. And the best hitters understand how to control that space. The best hitters control that space really well. The hitters who don't control that space don't hit the ball really well. And the best pitchers are spinning the ball through that space. So who's going to win the space is the name of the game. It's a game within the game. When we do front toss with our kids, and we pitch to our kids, they got to play this game. But our kids are playing all kinds of other games. They're playing this game. They're playing all these games. Look at my open stance, coach. I look cool, right? They're doing all these different things. But the thing that matters the most is, can you get to that space? Because if you don't get there, she's going to beat you in that space. And people are training pitchers to learn how to spin it through that space because they know that that's where it happens. The decision to actually swing is happening 6, 7, 8 feet in front of home plate. And that's where pitchers are learning how to get that ball to break through. It's called effective velocity. It's called tunneling. And a lot of pitchers are learning that. So when you get to college, you're facing girls who've been tunneling since they were 8, 9, 10, 12. And then we don't understand the space. So timing becomes rhythm of the body. Timing becomes eyeballs. And timing becomes understanding and knowing how to get the barrel to the space. Understanding and knowing how to get the barrel to the space. So what I like to do when we talk about getting the barrel to the space, I love doing this. And this is all I do now. It's funny because I was down in Texas this fall, down in Sugar Land, Texas. If you haven't been to Sugar Land, Texas, it's a nice place. I mean, they got a lot of things to do. It's nice. It's a nice place. I enjoyed it. It was nice. So I went to go watch a friend of mine's team play, who coaches the Texas Bombers, 16U team, like their main team. And all those kids will be on TV in 3 years. They're all going to be, every one of them will be on TV in 3 years. And you know what they were really good at? Getting to the space. That's all they did. They got to the plate. They were getting to the space. They were getting there. They were getting the best part of the ball to the best part of the zone and hitting the best part of the ball. That's the game they played. Got there. Got there. Inside pitch. Got there. They were just good at it. So let's talk about that. How do we get our players to be good at getting to the space? What do we tell them? What do we spend time on? That's all I'm doing now. I don't care about anything else. I need you to be on time and get to that space. If it's ugly, I don't care if it's ugly. Just get it done. I'm trying to win games. I'm not trying to be right about swing mechanics. You could be as right as you want to be about swing mechanics. I'm so right. I know my stuff. I'm the hitting guru. I know all this about hitting. Great. Your kids have great swings, but now they can't hit. Now let's teach them how to hit. Ready? Let's do it. So the back shoulder is going to give us direction. The back shoulder is going to give us direction. Let's say it one more time. The back shoulder is going to give us direction. Watch the back shoulder. I got to time this back shoulder. I got to time it. That back shoulder gives us direction. The back shoulder, the hands stay here. I don't want to push. The hands stay here. I'm taking the back shoulder to the middle pitch, back shoulder to the middle pitch, and as I do that, guess what my bat's doing? It's also going in the same direction. So I'm closing that gap by working in the right direction with the back shoulder. And what that also does, is just to put it in perspective, we talked about the depth of the pitch. Every pitch has a depth. Every pitch also has a height. And every pitch also is either inside or outside or somewhere in between. So every batted ball is sitting on 3 planes. It has a depth, a height, and a width. Sound familiar? X, Y, Z axis, right? You're a math nerd, right? Not. But that's how it works. Every batted ball it's sitting on 3 planes. So the back shoulder is for the height of the pitch. That's why it has to be first. The front shoulder can't go first. Look what happens. But a lot of our kids are doing that. So the kids that are going front shoulder first are never going to be on time on an outside pitch. And most of the kids that are going front shoulder first are in this posture. Watch my posture. Actually, all of them. There's no way my back shoulder can go forward from here. I can't do it. It's impossible. So if you watch TV and you watch these hitters, every single one of them, at least the good ones, the All-Americans, they're going to have forward bend. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot of forward bend. We just need a little bit. Because it allows the back shoulder to work underneath the front shoulder and forward to create what we call adjustability. Now I can be on time for any pitch, middle, in, out, high, low, drop, curve, rise, screw, fast, slow, change up. It doesn't matter. If I'm in that posture, I'm going to be able to match up the plane with that back shoulder every single time. I will never be off if I got that forward bend. If you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. Come over here for a minute. This is big time. She's going to be demonstrating a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I gave you a pair of batting gloves, right? So I don't have to tell you, right? Get set. Now watch this. So here's big time. So she already has a forward bend. So her spine has a forward bend here, right? Part one. Part two is you have to, this is not negotiable. You must have a 90-degree bat angle. Spine, bat angle, 90 degrees. Turn that way and face them. No, they're the picture. Spine, bat, 90 degrees. This is not 90. That's not 90. That's not 90. That's not going to be, that's too much of a wrap. 90. You guys see the angle? Come over here. Face them. You have to get this. Because if all your kids do this, your team's going to freaking rip the ball. Your team's going to smoke the ball. They will not even be able to hit a ground ball if they tried. They will always hit a rising line drive. They will not be able to hit a ground ball. This puts us on those coordinates that we talked about. This puts us on the coordinates. Spine, bat, 90 degrees. That's not 90. That's not 90. That's not 90. This is 90. All right, now let's face the center field. Face that way, yep. So if I'm at 90 and I have forward bend, no matter where I put this ball, if she takes her back shoulder to this ball, she will be on an angle that gives her a rising line drive no matter what. Back shoulder to the ball. Bang. Go back. Outside pitch and high. Back shoulder to the ball. She's always going to be there. Always. She can't mess it up. It's impossible. I don't care where I was. Ready? Low and in. Back shoulder to the ball. Always. I get a new watch. We good. I think I'm good on this. Let me see if I'm not good on this. I got it. Okay. Thank you. Got it? So that's crucial, right? That's crucial to be forward bend and 90-degree angle. And if the back shoulder is going in the right direction, I am on time. I have a great path to any pitch. We call that adjustability. So in hitting, there's constants. This is all math. It's just math, guys. It's math. There's constants and there's variables. So the constant in my swing is going to be how I set up, my dance and my stance, getting to my heel strike, and then right to here. So heel strike to here, those are my constants. And if my constants are good, they set me up for the variable. Now, who controls the variable? The pitcher controls the variable. And if my constants are good, Jesus. If my constants are good, right, they set me up to be able to adjustability, to any variable they throw at me. I can solve any problem a pitcher throws at me because my body is in the right position to be on time with the right path for every single pitch location. Does that make sense? So if the strike zone is a tic-tac-toe board of 9 different pitch locations, tic-tac-toe board, 9 different pitch locations, I can get there no matter what. I want to see what slides I got, what other slides I have up here. I can't read that. Let's talk vision for a second. So, I want you to stand right over here. A lot of the stuff that we're doing, you're gonna stand right over here. A lot of the stuff that we do with hitters, when we're talking about going inside of the brain computer, and we're going inside their head to find things out, We can't come this way a little bit. We can't just do it. Right there's good. We can't just do that by just guessing. Sometimes we have to ask the right questions because only they know certain things that we can never know. So, let's just play catch. We're just playing catch. Now, sometimes you're playing catch with somebody. If I'm playing catch, right? I'm playing catch with somebody. And you know how when you're younger and the kid's first playing catch, like a younger, maybe like a baby, they go, every ball you throw to them, it gets on them fast. It's like it gets on them fast. That's because most hitters and most people are watching the ball. So when we talk about how the eyeballs work, right? We don't want to just watch the ball, though. Because if I'm watching the ball, if she's watching the ball, she's seeing, go ahead and get set. She's seeing where the ball, if she's watching the ball, she's seeing some of where the ball is and some of where it's already been. So she's visually late. What we hope she's doing is we hope she's seeing some of the ball and some of where the ball's going. That's what the good hitters are doing. They're anticipating. They have anticipatory instincts. So we want to make this gap here of where the ball is and where she's seeing it, we want to make that even bigger. So if we play catch, ready, and you just watch the ball, I know it's wrong, but I want you to watch the ball, just the ball. The ball gets on her faster. Just watch the ball. It gets on her faster. But if you stay in front of the ball now, anticipate, she slows the ball down. She has the ability to slow a ball down or pitch down based on how she tracks this ball. You can tell your kids this and they'll understand it. Don't watch the ball, but I want you to be a little bit in front of where you think the ball is going to be and anticipate better. Okay, thank you. So visually, that's an exercise you can do also to kind of get an idea of, okay, what are my players doing visually? And I can't see this, obviously, but I can ask them those questions. Hey, let's stop looking at the ball. Let's start getting more aware of where the ball's going. And another good way to train this is to have we can work on what we call open focus. If we can have a player look, can you just stand right in front of me real quick? I'm on this side, stand right there. And I want you to throw me the ball right here. I'm going to look over there, go ahead and throw it. I'm going to look over there and still catch it. I'm looking over there, go ahead and throw it, and I'm still going to catch it. I'm looking over here and I'm still going to catch it because I'm able to anticipate where the ball is going to be. I'm not changing my vision. I can still see the ball. But in order for us to have open focus, thank you, when I'm watching the pitcher, I can still see the center fielder. I can see the left fielder. I can see the scoreboard. I can see the team bus in the parking lot over here. If somebody raises their hand over here, I can still see it because I have open focus. If I'm zoomed in, locked in on a pitcher and her body, I don't get to see all the things I need to see so that my eyes can work effectively. Eyes don't work like that. Eyes are muscles. So we talk about visual perception and visual processing. The eyes have to be softer and more relaxed to be able to move faster, just like any other muscle. They don't believe me. I'm going to show you guys this exercise. You guys are going to believe me after this. Watch this. So I got ball, and then I have water bottle. I want everybody to stare at the ball. Just stare at it. Stare at it. Now go water bottle. Back to the ball. Okay, this is what happened. You stared at the ball. The first time you got to the ball, it was in high definition because you just got there. Your brain is like, oh, wow, a nice, clean, shiny ball. This is new to me. After you stared at the ball for a while, the ball lost its definition. It wasn't as shiny, it wasn't as bright because your eyes are like, we've already identified that. It's not a threat. Then when you went back to the water bottle was a shiny new thing. When you went back to the ball, it went back to being high definition. So what if I'm hitting? Who pitches? You pitch? Who pitches? Who pitches? You pitch? Pitch? One of you pitchers come here for a minute? Just one. Come on over here. This way. Hold that. Stand right there. Good. I want you to get just like this and go just like this and just get right into your pitching delivery. Stop right there. Okay. I'm a hitter. We call this taking a visual route. And if you talk to, I've worked with professional softball players, and I've had conversations with good hitters at the professional softball level that actually do this. I know for a fact LSU and University of Florida does it because I've worked with them on that, so I know they do that. Those two teams specifically do that. Auburn specifically does that. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Hitters are taking routes. They're going from shortstop, I can still see the pitcher, and I want you to get here and stop, but don't throw the ball. I'm going from shortstop, go, and then when she gets here, I move my hands over. I move my eyes over. So do it again. When she gets to the top of a circle, I'm at shortstop with my eyes. When she gets to the throw zone, I move my eyes back to the throw zone. If I stared at the throw zone too long, what would happen was what happened to you guys. The throw zone would be not as high definition. But if I time when I get there, and the first time I get there, that ball's coming out, I'm going to see her release point. I'm going to see all the things that she's doing with that ball. I'm going to see it so much more clearly. And that is how we train, thank you. That is how we train visual acuity. We want eyeballs moving. We don't want eyeballs being static. Because if the muscles are stiff, they can't move as fast. Same with the eyeballs, they're muscles. So if the muscles are relaxed and they're moving, some hitters go center field camera, center field back, center field black, back to the pitcher. Some hitters go shortstop, back to the pitcher. Some hitters go shortstop, pitcher's foot, back up to the throw zone. Some hitters go pitcher's bow. What are those things you guys wear? Bows? Yeah. I'm not going to go into that. So they go from the pitcher's bow back to the throw zone, right? So everybody's different, and everybody takes a different route. We try to find out, we want to get real advanced, we try to find out like where they're looking, and are they staring too long, and are their eyes becoming static? So when we are decision making, who's ever heard this before? In decision making? Yes, 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 no. You guys heard that? We got to be yes, yes, no. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what's wrong with saying that. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with that. And I'm going to give you a better way to present it to your team. That's more in-game friendly, more less cliche, and something that is actually usable and tangible for them. Okay, so here's what we got. I like to get my hitters to say yes to what? I want there to be a what to the yes. What are we saying yes to? Because that's more important than just saying yes. Because I want to give them a direction to go to with the yes, not just a straight yes, like a wild yes. I'm just a wild child, like, just yes. We don't want that. I want them to specifically have a direction of where they're saying yes to. So if I'm really engaged in the game and I'm watching this pitcher and a pitcher throws her warm-ups, right? If a pitcher's throwing her warm-ups, check this out. This is where timing starts. When a pitcher's throwing her warm-ups and your team is like passing Gatorades to their parents, your team is not even looking at the pitcher. She's warming up in front of the dugout. She's letting you see her pitches, and your team has got your whole team got their back to the pitcher like this. Yeah, so, did you guys see Kim Kardashian's TikTok? Like what? She's pitching in front of the dugout. We should be like this. Okay, she throws a curve. She throws a changeup. Her changeup is always low. Her changeup is always a strike. Her curveball is never a strike. Her rise ball is always high. I got to know all these things before the game starts. Because now I know what I'm saying yes to. So if I say to myself, okay, her changeup is never a strike. If I bat fifth for my team, 4 batters hit in front of me, she threw 7 changeups and none of them were strikes. Guess what I'm not swinging at? She threw 17 rise balls and none of them were strikes. Guess what I'm not swinging at? You get it? So I'm saying yes to what she throws for strikes. I'm only saying yes to a particular area. If she's throwing that outside corner pitch for a strike, I'm saying yes to that one pitch. So my yes is to that part of the zone. Yes over there. To no. Yes to no. Yes to no. If it's a strike, my back shoulder and everything's going in that direction for that outside pitch because that's the one she's throwing for a strike. That's the one I want. That's what I want to say yes to. It's not just going to be a random yes. So timing is such a visual thing, and hitters have to be able to have the ability to visualize what they want to do before it happens. It's called predicting the collision. I call it POC, prediction of collision. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I have a hitting certification course that I do, and we train the coaches on like all the different things that happen in a cognitive process. And a big part of it is the prediction of the collision and their ability to paint a picture, a visual image, or a visual movie actually, of what's going to happen, and then they make that happen. That's how that works. Is that my last one? Okay. The thing about timing though, right? Timing is always personal. Your timing is going to be different than her timing. Your timing is different than hers. Every player's timing is going to be significantly different than the other person. So we have to be really good at understanding, I'm going to go back to the beginning, when does the front foot land for each kid? I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you two players. One was a Penn State player who graduated, and she was a smaller player. She was very, very tiny, named Michelle. She just graduated last year from Penn State. Very, very tiny girl. She had a really, really short, compact swing. Short, compact. And then if you compare her swing to like Jada Kearney's swing, 3-time All-American at Georgia, 6'1", power hitter, Team USA, like just big bodied, big abled, stronger girl. And she had a bigger trigger, and she had a bigger body to unwind. Jada got her foot down significantly earlier than Michelle did, because that's her timing. And Michelle was able to get her foot down later because her swing was shorter, if that makes sense. But Michelle understood that about her timing, and Jada understood that about her timing. They understood their timing, they understood their swings. And the only way a hitter can get comfortable with the idea of how they can be on time is that you have to explore with them different ways to get on time, and then see which one works the best. And then once you start to figure that out, okay, we good. And it could change in 6 months. Their body could change in 6 months. Their eye prescription could change in 3 months. Like all these things can happen that affect their timing. So we have to be on that. And a lot of times it could be vision. It could be that they just need a new prescription on their contact lenses. Sometimes it's as simple as that. Hey, are you seeing the ball? Yeah. Do you wear contacts? Yes, but I don't play softball with my contacts on. What? That stuff happens. That stuff happens all the time. Yeah, I just don't play softball with my contacts on. I just don't. Okay, sounds good. You got it? So I think we have to start asking questions too to kind of find out where these kids are with the timing, and ask them. Do you feel like today's picture was a little fast? Do you feel like today's picture was a little low? And this is the one thing I do. I always do this also. I don't know if you noticed that I did it in the cage. If you guys were at the in-cage system, I'll have the hitters put a ball down on the ground. I do this with all my hitters. Some of them do it on their own. They come in the cage, they put a ball on the front of the plate. I'll put a ball at the contact space on the ground. This is really good though, to give them a visual. This is my like go-to magic weapon. Okay? Ball on the ground. And now I know nothing that she throws in front toss, machine, whatever you guys are doing in your practices, is allowed to get past this ball. Nothing gets past this ball. Everything happens out front. Everything happens out front. And then they start to understand when they have to start. Then I'll throw the ball harder if I'm throwing front toss. Okay, get on top, be on time, don't get beat to the space. And then the more advanced kids, you want to play a game with them. How deep can I let a ball get without getting beat? This is a good game to play in front toss. How deep can I let a ball get without getting beat? It's a phenomenal, and they start to understand timing for everything, front foot, eyes, and back shoulder and controlling the space. All three are the key components of timing. Those are your 3 timings, right? Body timing, when's my front foot getting down? Visually, eyeballs, am I able to track a ball and predict collision, right? And track and recognize in the side. And the last one's gonna be bat to ball space. And we talked about the psychology of speed earlier. So now I got this ball here representing when the foot gets down. Then I wanna put another ball over here, maybe halfway between the L screen and the plate if I'm doing front toss. And I want to get my foot down when the ball that's pitched gets to that ball. So now I have 2 reference points. I want to get my front foot down water bottle. I'm gonna get my front foot down when the pitched ball in front toss gets to that ball. And I'm gonna get my bat to that space because any ball that passes that water bottle, I got beat. This is really good for the younger ones, like 10s, the 12s, the 14s, and even some of my 16s we do it, 18s we all do it. Because this gives them a visual. I feel like I'm late, put a ball down, let's go. I don't even gotta tell them, they just do it. And if you want to do a 3-ball drill, here's a good one. And I'm gonna end on this, director. I'll put another ball, we're talking about balance, I'll put another ball underneath me. So I got nose, belly button, ball, right? Nose, belly button, ball, so they can see balance. Nose, belly button, ball. I don't want to get off that ball. I don't want to get off that ball in the middle. I got my balance. I know my head is stable. So I'll work 3 balls into it. We'll go nose, belly button, ball. So I got balance, visual. Front foot down on time. Before the pitch ball gets to that ball, front foot's down, and then I want to get to the space, bang. Then I want to get to the space, front foot down, bang. And every time they're late, tell them. Every time they get beat, tell them. Every time they get off this center mass here, tell them. Then they get 5, 6 practices in, your entire team has it mastered, and that's how we master timing. Thank you.